They arrived like gods, but not the kind I wanted to worship. A news anchor tried to sound calm. There is still time. Evacuation efforts are being organized. Global leaders are in talks with... The transmission cut out. Static, then silence, then the message came. We are Zypherian, the leader of this blue planet. Connect with us. It wasn't from Earth. The air itself seemed to hum, vibrating through radios, televisions, even through the walls. The voice wasn't human. It was deep, resonant, a thing that slithered into my bones and settled there. You will not survive this alone. We offer you survival. Survival was not free. Survival was not free. We saw them, eventually. I don't know what I thought aliens would look like. Maybe small, gray figures with large black eyes or towering insect-like creatures. But the Zypherians were neither. They were wrong. Too tall, their elongated limbs moving with a fluid grace that defied nature. Their skin shimmered in the dim light, shifting like liquid metal, reflecting the dying world back at us. Their eyes, if you could call them that, burned like dying embers, smoldering. Pits of something ancient and unfathomable. The first Zypherian to speak stood before the gathered masses in the capital, its voice amplified across the world. We do not come as saviors, it declared. We come as necessity. Your world is ending. We offer you shelter aboard our ships. It wasn't a human voice, but it spoke directly into the airwaves, into my chest, into my bones. The message echoed in 1,000 different languages, and I understood every word. That was it, the whole thing. No explanation, no questions answered, no alternatives, just survival wrapped in steel and inevitability. Humanity had two choices: accept their offer, or be left to die. Silence. Then, from somewhere in the crowd, a voice shouted, "At what cost?" The Zypherian's head tilted slightly, an almost human motion, yet entirely unnatural. You will not perish, you will persist under us. It was not a threat. It was not cruel, just undeniable. Their conditions were clear. Those who boarded their ships would belong to them. Not as slaves, they insisted, but as subjects. We would learn their ways, serve their needs. In return, they would give us life. We will survive. Governments wavered, debated, argued. But the black hole did not wait for politics. And in the end, survival wasn't a debate. It was instinct. They weren't offering refuge, they were offering control. The message had a tone to it, sharp and cold, and yet I couldn't ignore the desperate hunger that flared inside me. When the earth is dying, you don't argue with the ones offering a lifeline, no matter the cost. Outside, humanity had already begun to surrender. Cities fell into chaos. The streets became graveyards of abandoned cars and broken belongings. Some people cried, falling to their knees, whispering prayers. Others stared blankly at the sky, as if the darkness had already hollowed them out. And some too many lined up willingly, desperate for anything that wasn't the black hole. As if there was no other way. As if we were all too terrified to consider another option. The streets were chaos, families clutching each other, others running in blind desperation. Some screamed at the sky, begging for salvation or cursing the ones who had come. Others dropped to their knees, worshipping the black ships as divine intervention. A few refused to go at all, choosing death over the unknown. Shraddha and I walked through the madness, hand in hand, desperate, too terrified to question the silence in the air as the mothership hovered in the darkness, its presence swallowing everything. It wasn't like the spaceships I had seen in movies. There were no sleek edges, no human-made hope. The ship felt alive, organic even, like a creature that had risen from the bowels of the universe itself. The walls shifted and pulsated, absorbing light in ways that made my heart race in my chest. I couldn't breathe in here. The air was alive, not with the breath of life, but with something else, something alien and unsettling. My body felt heavy, weighed down by the oppressive sense of being watched, trapped. Each footstep echoed in the hollow corridors as we were led deeper into the bowels of the ship. It smelled like a foreign world that wanted to consume me. It was like stepping into the belly of a beast, a massive, uncaring thing that swallowed us whole, leaving no trace of who we were before. Shraddha was still holding my hand, her small fingers squeezing mine tightly. Her presence was the only thing that kept me grounded, kept me from spiraling into the chaos that clawed at the edges of my mind. But it wasn't enough. The Zypherians moved among us, their towering forms more monstrous than anything I had ever seen. They weren't like the creatures I'd imagined from the stories. No, these beings were predators. Everything about them screamed danger, their eyes glowing like embers, tracking every step, every breath. They did not speak again. They didn't need to. The message had been clear. Their bodies rippling with power. They were brutal, and their very presence was a threat I could feel in my bones. Shraddha's fingers tightened around mine as the door sealed behind us with a sound that wasn't mechanical but wet. Final. I exhaled slowly, pressing my forehead against the cold, shifting wall. Outside, the earth was still there, small and fragile in the darkness. Not for long. I closed my eyes. We were alive.